where I have to play it 24-7.
Well, why aren't you playing it 24/7? What do you expect your community to do exactly? You remember, Tectone, you said these games were free to play friendly. That's what you've said. When I first came into this scene, remember when you reacted to my video, you said these games were free to play. Now you are going on record and saying that they require all your time, because they do. Unless what? You spend money on it, which is what I was fucking saying, and you push back and you criticize me because at that time you were this free-to-play player and you had that whole facade. Remember, you hadn't even spent on Honkai Star Rail. You've had so many evolutions. First you're the whale, then you're the free-to-play player, and now you're the person that doesn't actually spend money, but you get money from your community, therefore it offsets what you currently do, but then sometimes you do spend, but you're not a whale. Bro, you're not anything. You're literally the most wishy-washy person I've ever fucking met on every damn category, whether it be gacha or real life or content creation. Before we get to the actual video, I'm going to show this little segment of Tectone's live stream where he talks about me. Good morning.
Did Muda reach out to you after he said he would start Woowa?
So this Mudahar connection is becoming increasingly more prevalent. This is the one thing I wanted to show you too as well. It's something that I've already criticized just about gacha in general, about the whole entire ecosystem, and this video is specifically on gacha today. It's actually going to peel back the curtain a little bit more and show another person that is considered a whale inside gacha, and it's going to show their true colors as well, along with Tectone's true colors and this whole entire proliferation of this ecosystem.
I will not disclose who I am and am not in DMs with, but the answer is yes. It's just funny how bazookas is everywhere whenever some guy's debating you. Well, I mean, here's the old thing. He's a really old guy.
It's just funny how bazookas is everywhere, even when he's debating somebody. Yeah, I mean, I can scrub it's very easy. Look, I can scrub it. And if I know it's Chud TV, I know what it's in reference to. It's not that hard to find that fucking video and to know that I can make something out of that. I'm old, but I'm not dumb. I'm old, but I'm not psycho. I'm old, but I'm not mentally ill. I know how to play the game. I'm very intelligent.
And if that makes him happy, I hope he has fun.
There you go, see? Okay, he said I can have fun. So let me have fun. So don't downvote my videos anymore. I mean, you can if you want to, because it's still engagement, by the way. It still helps my algorithm. Still pushes to other people that you don't want it pushed to. You would be better not to engage at all, ultimately, if you're one of the people that are criticizing me. But either way, upvote me. He wants to have fun. So let him have fun by upvoting me. And both cases will be true. Downvote me, upvote me, whichever, or don't engage at all, I guess. And then I'd go away potentially, but that's not going to happen, because even if I had 0 views on my videos, I'd still post them, because it's a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a mission. So that's what I want to show, but it's a little bit more on the Mudahar stuff that I'm going to actually show as well.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's pretty much it. I just hope he's having fun. But yeah, Muda, let's go.
Okay, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of this video.
It made a shit ton of money, right? So it's probably fine. Oh God, Fob is quitting Genshin Impact. What is this video?
What are we currently playing? So we got GFL 2, still have Genshin. That, like, okay, I still hop on, right? I haven't fully quit. I don't think I'll fully quit Genshin until, like, we get through the story easily. Like, I'm too locked in at this point. HSR.
I just cannot imagine that being your opinion in 2025. Like, bro, that is the most, and I consider Fob a pretty smart guy. Like, that is the most, like, time-sunk fallacy I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, oh, yeah, I'll still log in. I'm too locked into the story. Like, bro, are you really dying to see another 8-hour story quest of some useless fucking garbage that nobody cares about that's going to have a shit-ass ending? Like,
I mean, I agree. I think all these games are basically dead on arrival at this point in time. Gacha Space is co-opted. It's, I think the only real innovative is Love and Deep Space. The rest are really copy and paste in the tried and true, and a lot of them fail anyway. So, I'm totally disassociated with gacha right now. There's a part of me that likes the mundane, likes the repetitive nature of it in some cases, because they come from a grindy turn-based history with video games. Yeah, so I agree, but that's not, Even if I were to dabble, I'm not going to dabble because they're all S tier on my Gacha tier list.
We got Wuwa, we got ZZZ. I've been actively playing Nikke recently, and then we have PGR. That's it, right? That's only 7 gachas. Tribe 9? Yeah, but Tribe 9's one of those gachas like you don't have to play very much.
Yeah, the devs agreed. That's why they canceled the game. Now you get to pay even less, man. Now you get to play even less.
Like, you don't really have to do much because there's no end game. It's pretty much a story game. I just play for a story game. I think that's it. FGO, but bro, FGO I don't play. Let's think here, right? We got Arknights Enfield. Let's say Silver Palace comes out. Azure Pavilia, NTE. Nautilus is getting a little heavy here, right? And then Ananta. Being 1,000,000% realistic here, right?
I think if you play over 3 actively, I feel like you're just fucked up. Straight up. Straight up. Also, Fobm4ster's a Nazi. He's doing the Sieg Heil right here. And if I would have done this, I would have been trending globally on Twitter. So somebody needs to cancel this Asian fuck. Because we all know that he's fucking racist. If you play more than 3 gachas actively, you're fucked up. I think the gacha that I'm playing the most right now is probably Pokemon Go. I play Pokemon Go every day for like 8 hours, to be completely honest.
Right? Duet Night Abyss? Sure. The games that I will probably drop that are just easy to rip off.
Get rid of Girls Frontline 2. Get rid of PGR. Get rid of Tribe 9. Get rid of Genshin. I mean, Jesus. I mean, the fuck me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even see the point of playing Nikke. Just jerk off to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just porn. Like, let's be real. Like, who is playing Nikke for the game? It's legit just porn. You.
Thank you for that full disclosure. And we've rated Nikke as one of those games that are probably S+. I don't know if I said S+, but I'm pretty sure, I'm confident that it is S+. It might as well just be a porn game. And there are lolly models in that as well. So it's good to know that Tectone and Fob potentially are jerking off to Nikke, which would indicate, a lot. You can insert whatever thoughts you want to think after I said that, whether they're good or bad.
You hold down your fucking mouse, and then their booties and ass.
Oh, you can also leave them in the comments below if you want to do that.
Jiggle, or so their boobies and ass jiggle, and that's it. What is the point of playing that game other than that? Straight up, and that's fine. L take what the fuck? I play Nikke for the very intense combat systems.
Well, yeah, this is the issue with Gacha. You should not be pulling or playing these characters for their looks. Because if you are, there are literally children that are dressed like adults in these games. And I know that it's not technically illegal. It's not banned in the United States. It's not banned in countries that do not condone this. Whereas culturally, it's different in other countries as far as lollies go. Or childlike characters that are 2,000-year-old vampires. I understand the lore. Okay, I'm not naive or ignorant of it. And I understand why people keep playing the games. I do. I understand that. But if it's only for the sex appeal, if it's only for the porn, which is outrageous to me, I've never in my life associated gacha with sex appeal. Ever. And I understand that I'm from a different generation. And in this case, I am fucking old as fuck. And if I grew up with anime, if I grew up with manga, if I grew up with gacha, then I probably would have that association. And that's unfortunate. Because guess what's better than anime? Real life. Real women. Not some animated character. Now, if they're adults, if they're sexualized, fine. Is that safer than getting a relationship with women? Yeah, in some cases it is. Because relationships are complicated and they can go south. And so if you need something, to, bide your time or whatever the case may be, like, I don't want to get into that too much. But at the same time, like, if that's what you're using it for, fine. But play games that actually have models that are indicative of what we've all culturally decided as being acceptable. Adult women that are provocative, sure, that's fine. Adult men that are provocative, sure, that's fine. Kid-like, male or female figures that have, like, all the suggestive wear on it, whether it be men or boys with six-packs and all this shit. Come on. Nikke is one of those bad games. Epic 7 is one of those bad games.
Shut the fuck up, bro. You're a gooner.
Epic 7 put high school characters inside their games with fucking short-ass dresses. absolutely inappropriate and unnecessary.
You're a fucking gooner. You're a filthy fuck.
And if we're gonna justify these games existing, then there needs to be an actual rating for those specific games where people over the age of 18 are not allowed to play them. Yeah, I'm being fucking 100% seriously. If we have distinctions and we're gonna allow these games to become mainstream, which is what they are right now. I know that the United States is cracking down on Genshin, and you're gonna have to show, your age verification if you're below or above or below the age of 16 to play those games right now, which is a very good thing, by the way, because even being 16 is way too young. But at the same time, there's at least some policy, some standardization. But if we're going to allow these games to have the artwork that they do, and it's only going to get pushed even more, lollies have become more and more acceptable in some communities than they've ever become. And that means they're going to push the medium. They're going to push it. And who knows where it's going to have to, be the breaking point. We've already had that, breaking point in many other sectors of our cultural, societal norms, and there's a very large pushback, and I can only expect that, depending on the success of these characters, that's going to continue as well. So you should draw the line. You yourself should make the decision.
Fucking
And if you're looking at content creators to do that for you, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to why you should not be looking at these people as indicators of whether you should be playing a game or not.
gooner. Are you gonna fucking come when you play Nikke, you fucking fat pig?
Oh my god. And again, this community loves that. They love this conversation that he has. They has a Discord, 2 different separate channels for anime porn.
You disgusting fucking freak. Yeah, you're gonna blow your fucking load on those androids' asses.
Why do you need to have this conversation with your chat right now? It's so fucking weird.
They'll never love you, by the way. God, you're such an ugly fucking loser. Anyways.
And I hate to say this, but Tribe 9 isn't really like a gacha game. It's more of a story
Yeah, it's not a gacha game. It's a dead game because that shit got EOS'd.
game. So, like, I don't even think it needs to matter here, but, like, sure. Tribe 9, Nikke, those would be the easiest to drop. It
Oh, he knew. He knew.
would be. Because I've come and go from playing PGR constantly. I've come and go from playing Nikke and PGR constantly. Those are very easy for me to drop. Being completely honest, these 4 will be very hard for me to drop because I've just sunk so much time into all of them.
That ain't the reason. And we'll get to it soon.
Does that not just sound like an addict talking? Like, straight up.
And also, HSR sponsors me.
Yeah, that's the real reason. It is a time fallacy, obviously. People that spend a lot of time, but I've spent a lot of time on Honkai Star Rail, and I quit that game. And I would never be sponsored. Period. I get sponsored for games is one of the most disingenuous things you can ever do, especially if that is your fucking hobby. There's a platform called Last Stand Media, and I can't speak to like all of their policies or their ethos, but they have a rule that on their main channel, not necessarily, they have other channels on Last Stand Media that do take sponsorships from games, I think. But on Colin's, channel, Sacred Symbols Plus, Constellation, he has a policy not to take any kind of game sponsors. You don't mix your hobby with financial windfalls or incentives, because that is just a really bad standard to set, a really bad thing to do, especially as a content creator who is actively showcasing and promoting these things. It just comes off as disingenuous, and everything you say after, I'm sorry, but I disregard. So yeah, it might be because you have all this time invested, but it's more importantly because you're incentivized to continue to play.
Constantly. And Wuwa sponsors me.
And Wuwa sponsors him.
Constantly.
And there's the real answer. There is the real answer.
And this is what makes Tectone so upset about these communities, because he wants all of that as well. Okay, he wants that. He doesn't really have issues with Fob per se, but he wants all of these deals. He doesn't want anybody else to get these deals. He wants all of these deals, which is why he has a problem with the Hoyoverse, because Hoyoverse blacklisted him, and that was stemming back all the way from the Atsu days. And he was so fucking pissed. Him and MTash went scorched earth because they were no longer giving them money or giving them access to certain things that they had access to previously, while other creators and in this case, Asian creators had access to it, and then they cultivated this like whole ecosystem that they were the only ones being incentivized. And this is what Tectone has tried to create with Wuwa, what he'll try to create with Silver Palace, what he'll try to create with Anada and NTE and all these other new ones that are coming out, because he's the big bad in this space. He's the biggest gacha content creator out there. And so he'll try his hardest to get all that money, and to, again, potentially give people favors, windfalls, that he chooses. Just like Atsu did, the one he criticized for doing the same thing and deplatformed, he'll do it as well. And that's everything that Tectone ever does. He'll do everything he says, even though he criticizes everybody else for it.
Sir. Yeah, just say they give me tons of money. If you're getting sponsored constantly, do not drop the game, Fob. Good for you.
Yeah, and he does not drop Wuwa because he gets sponsored constantly from Wuwa. He'll not he'll not stop any of the games that he gets sponsored by, but he doesn't play them. Tectone doesn't play them either. Really, at least Fob does play his games that he gets sponsored for. Outside of being sponsored, he does play the games. I do know that, and obviously it's to have content because he doesn't actually do drama that I understand. So that's how he gets content. But that's more respectable at the very least because you're playing the game than something like Tectone does, which is drama farm and then do his sponsored streams and then do drama farm and then do his sponsored streams and doesn't play them offline. And he always covers like the stuff that he knows is going to get the clicks clearly. But other than that, he could care less about the games. He'll just move on. They're basically just They're just an investment, and that wouldn't be bad if it wasn't the fact that he has a community who is being indoctrinated and manipulated by these content creators who suggest that it's something else when it really is mostly sponsors or incentivizations that they're playing the games, and they're not being critical about them.
So like they won't go anywhere. Girls Frontline 2 would realistically be the next on the chopping block after these three.
If they ain't sponsoring you, Fob, just quit. Just keep it down to HSR and Wuwa. To be honest, yeah, what's up?
Yep, don't play too many gotcha, especially gooner games. Anyways, here's how to tell if your sign is cheap.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, honestly, I would just quit all of these except for Wuwa.
Right. And that's the narrative that you really want to hear from Tectone's perspective, because he doesn't get any back from Hoyoverse. He will start getting back from Silver Palace and some of these other competitors. So he'll obviously want to sponsor, or he'll obviously want to boost them up. But Wuwa has been his hugest windfall in the last year, and it will continue to be, most likely, because it's been successful. It's been a successful campaign for him specifically, and obviously Fob is being sponsored by Wuwa. Wuwa has, I think, it has a very large. Wuwa has a very large influence on content creators to try to counter the narrative of Hoyoverse and the Genshin, Honkai Star Rails, Endless Zone Zero community, which is pretty toxic. This is a very toxic community.
Until the games become what you want them to be. I think Genshin's dead forever. I think Honkai Star Rail can have some saving grace, maybe. Not for me, but for other players. And I think ZZZ 2.0, I'm actually very excited for it, to be completely honest. I'm very excited for ZZZ 2.0. I'm looking forward to what the game will be. Plus, that new character, like Yi Zhuan or some shit, is hot as fuck.
And then even amongst this list, chat, I'm going to be 1,000,000% fair. You have to understand, chat, some of these might sponsor me here and there, but being 100% fair. And
I want to play Enfield. I want to play Palace. I want to play Jubimalia. I don't really care about NTE. I don't really care about Duet Night Abyss. I want to play Ananta. So I want to play these four. But these two right here, I just don't fucking care about, to be completely honest. And maybe they'll sway me. But I plan on giving
Sway me means maybe they'll sponsor me. If they sponsor me, I'll play them.
NTE and Duet Night Abyss probably around 40 to 50 hours of fair, honest gameplay and reviews. And if I want to play them more, I will. But I can't see myself getting into them.
I don't see you getting into any game, period. You're not a gamer. It's become very apparent.
However, AK...
You might get addicted to something. That's probably what has happened in the past, but you're not a gamer. And addiction is not indicative of being a gamer.
Enfield, I probably give it like at least 400 hours. Silver Palace, at least 400 hours. You know, some really good time to sink my teeth into. Now, NTE is actually a good one.
I wonder how much that NDA that you had for the Silver Palace announcement on your channel was a contract for the next, X amount of time. Maybe you got a big lump sum from them. They've locked it in for the next year or two for Silver Palace. That's why you're so confident in saying that. That is possible, and you're under an NDA, so you're not going to be able to say anything about the additional details of your non-disclosure agreement.
I guess we'll find out together, right?
And
Right, of course, yes. That's fantastic, community. Come on along the ride. Come with me on a magical adventure, and we will see all the new gacha games in this space, where there's lolly baits everywhere, but we don't care, because we'll say that they're 1,000-year-old vampires, and if we're criticized, we'll just say we don't look at them, and we look at the adult characters that are provocative. And if that is not even acceptable, we'll say we only do it for the mechanics, and it's not illegal, so shut the fuck up.
like assuming myself and what my interests are, these are the ones that will probably drop from here. And then depending on what the fuck Ananta shows, like Ananta's a question right now.
Yeah, I know.
You don't know, so it could
Hey,
be
Techie,
on the
will we
top
ever
and
get
block.
Oh, it's a question because I haven't got the check yet, but once I do, it's no longer a question, it's an exclamation point.
Until
Pokemon
we
Go
see
stream.
gameplay. But everything
Yep.
I've seen and played from Arknights Enfield, I love. Silver Palace, everything we just saw was fucking insane.
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way. I put that.
Oh, yeah, here we go. So this is an indicator that he is locked in for the sponsorships for Silver Palace, because this is the same rhetoric he had for WoWA before it was launched. I can tell that he's basically probably got all of or most of the marketing for this game, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Lal Shinra is part of this package as well, and Genocide will probably be packaged. Maybe it's a Mythic Talent. Maybe it's a Mythic Talent contract. A lot of VTubers are in that Mythic Talent thing, and I'm sure they're going to push this game as well.
That game on the map. You're welcome.
This is like 100% locked in. Azure
Yeah.
Permelia, everything we've seen so far, I've liked. So like realistically, the
Azure Pamelia. I think Silver Palace would be the best one, but I'm
I mean, when I'm right, I'm right.
so excited for Azure Pamelia or Azure Stellar, whatever they're calling it in Big 2025. Like the farming situation, like it's Power World. It looks so much fun. I can't wait.
end list might look very similar to this.
And let me just say, on an optimistic point of view, I'm already out on Silver Palace. I'm not playing that game. I'm most likely out on the Epic 7 one because of what they did in Epic 7 at the tail end, so I'm not going to even give them a chance. Any Hoyoverse adjacent new game, I'm not going to play. Wuwa, I'm probably not going to play. So if there's anything new, Arknights, I don't know. I have to look at Arknights of old to see what their characters look like. If there's any of those that are not suggestive right now, that are currently not going to get S on my tier list, I will play them. They will never be sponsored. It will be because I like and enjoy the combat loop and enjoy the game for what it is. I'm a grinder. I like role-playing games.
Oh, forgot Ethereal Restart, which speaks volumes. I'm also going to be playing the fuck out of Ethereal Restart, especially on launch.
That sounds like money, 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 money. Money talks.
We'll see how it goes, though.
Which would
We'll see how much money they give me after the launch.
keep us at about 7 games still, right? Because we are currently at 8 gachas that I keep up with, right? And then we would actually be down to 1. Or if we include Ananta there, we'll be back keeping about 8. So what about Uma Musume? Bro, Uma Musume is not a fucking like super crazy gacha game that you got to keep up with, all right? It's a glorified dating sim. But bro, remember open world gachas are heavy? Yeah, like don't get me wrong.
They are, bro. Like, that's why, like, I'm low-key excited for Ethereal Restart, because, like, open world gachas, they just take so much fucking time. It is. Like, now, the good news is that you can, like, dunk, like, 80 hours on launch and then get everything into maintenance mode again, to where you only have to play, like, 4 or 5 hours for every new update, which is great, especially if you don't care about endgame. And you only want to care about, like, you know, exploration, the story. It's good, but, like, man, if you do everything in a gacha, God, it's painful, bro. It's painful. Yeah, what up, weetards?
You see Captain Cabinets? He's the person on Twitter that likes to always rally for Tectone support. It's part of the circle.
Thank you for the raid, bro. Yo, weetards, thank you for the raid. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Part of the circle. And he wants to bring in Chud now. Chud, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, don't do it. Stay in your lane, my friend. Okay. Once you have any loose connection with Tectone, I promise you, all he has to do is just, and then it's over.
Kate, you're doing amazing. I'm very proud of you. Great job. I enjoyed your video the other day. I hope you're having a wonderful stream. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. And I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the raid.
If these release very close to each other, it's gonna be rough. Because Arknight's Enfield exploration, I don't think Silver Palace exploration seems that heavy because it's very seems like it might be a little more confined.
Brother, ain't no way Fob just said Silver Palace.
Here we go. Do you not see how this works? Genocide. Remember Genocide's conversation about criticization? No. Always came to Genocide's back, right? Supported Genocide unequivocally, no matter what the criticism, no matter what any of the issues would be for the person. Mythic Talent connection, gonna be roommate. Silver Palace, most likely already locked in a good 6 month to a year sponsorship deal. Got a huge bag for that. Won't be able to talk about it. He's under NDA, and apparently that NDA is extremely strict because he couldn't even post his reaction until yesterday because they were holding it until then. So it's very strict. He's not going to be able to say shit.
This exploration might be a bit more confined. When they released a fucking mount that can fly and they released a mount that can drift, like they probably had that for a reason, don't you think? Like, if they're giving you a mount that can fucking fly, that probably means there's a lot of places you got to go. But that's just my opinion.
Azure Promelia will probably be heavy. And I think Anata and Silver Palace are both in the category of it might be more within a refined territory. So it's not crazy exploration. So we'll see. The new Hoyo game as well. Yeah, but that's like a fucking Pokemon game. I doubt that'll be super heavy. You might have to stop doing.
If the Hoyo game is Pokemon and it doesn't involve suggestive adult characters, I will play it.
Echo picking to do.
Or suggestive kid characters, I'll play. Well, actually, no. In the case of Hoyo, yes. If it has any suggestive characters at all, then that means they'll eventually go for lollies as well. So yes, I stand by my first statement.
I'm honestly more excited for the Hoyo vs. Pokemon game than anything they've released in fucking years. Straight up. Because it seems like it'll just be a low investment, low stakes game where I can just boot up, play some Pokemon, call it a day. But if they over gotchify it, it'll be fucking terrible. I don't know how they monetize a game like that without making it fucking terrible. But we'll see. I'll
That's fair.
definitely give it a good 40 hours. We'll see. And then the power creep will set in.
All the
That's fair for Gacha, and I think that's fair for things that are pay to win. Yes.
open.
Never touching any Hoyo shit ever again. I'm almost on that train too. However, I feel a certain obligation to play every single game in order to inform.
Well, we know why you play every single game. Let's be very clear. Okay, because you know the boost in views and support whenever you play these new games. That is one of the biggest incentives.
My audience of how shit it is. And to be honest, I love doing that.
World dailies though. I really hope any of these games have something equivalent to Echo
Surely
picking.
there won't be more games that you're gonna be really interested in that will be revealed in the upcoming months or year, Klugi.
Maybe. I will admit, the reason I spend the most time on WoW is because I love echo picking. I love just having something to infinitely grind. It doesn't immediately
That's going to make him happy. That's going to make Daddy happy right here. Let's see what he says. Let's see if he says anything.
benefit you, but it's something that doesn't hurt your account. It only
Yeah, I don't enjoy that anymore. I like games where I barely have to play them, and when I play them, it's fucking awesome. I don't want a game.
Okay. I thought this was a positive or a negative. I mean, I didn't expect him to say that, but at the same time, he's just calling himself out as just not being a gamer at the end of the day. What do you expect in games like this that are, gotchas? There's going to be a loop. Whether and if you're not into the loop, then you're not into these kind of games. They require you to maintain them if you're going to play them without spending all your money. They require time. It's just antithetical, man. And what are you going to do for all the other games that come out? Again, you're only here for the sponsors. You're only here for the interactions. So even though I wouldn't expect you to say that, it's still in line.
Where I have to play it 24/7.
Well, why aren't you playing it 24/7? What do you expect your community to do exactly? You remember, Tectone. You said these games were free to play friendly. You fucking motherfucker. That's what you've said. When I first came into this scene, remember when you reacted to my video, you said these games were free to play. Now you are going on record and saying that they require all your time, because they do. Unless what? You spend money on it, which is what I was fucking saying, and you push back and you criticize me because at that time you were this free-to-play player and you had that whole facade. Remember, you hadn't even spent on Honkai Star Rail. You've had so many evolutions. First you're the whale, then you're the free-to-play player, and now you're the person that doesn't actually spend money, but you get money from your community, therefore it offsets what you currently do, but then sometimes you do spend, but you're not a whale. Bro, you're not anything. You're literally the most wishy-washy person I've ever fucking met on every damn category, whether it be gacha or real life or content creation. And to your credit, it's successful. I can't deny that.
I hate that. I really like just, you get on, you do something fun, you get off. If you don't play for a couple of days, that's fine. But I really am becoming much more in the casual demographic, like Wizardry, for example. Wizardry, I'll log on, do like 3-4 minutes of dailies, feel great, call it a day, log off for 2 weeks, come back, I missed nothing. It's awesome. Like, it's so good.
Only improves it. Like, so I hope these games have something similar, but we'll see. It is MMO brain rot. In
Maybe I should play Nikke, because Nikke is much more like that.
BDO, this is what I would do. I would go to a farming spot and there would be mobs here. I'd turn on fucking background music, right? I'd fucking queue up some fucking MMO grinding music.
That's what they are. That's what BDO was. I never played BDO like that, but that was the end game. That was the loop that you would want if you're going to advance in progression in BDO. I enjoyed that game thoroughly, but that game had a really good environment. It was hardcore. It was brutal. It felt like the world was semi-alive. Obviously, there was definitely some issues with the quality of the game, you know, from the NPC perspective. But that game I still have fond memories of, and I'm so excited for Crimson Desert. I can't even tell you, because and that's only because of the world. Their ability to create a world that feels lived in and that feels immense and full of consequences. And I love aspects of worlds like that.
Music. And then I'd fucking do this. Loop. For 13 hours straight.
It's true.
I mean, once again, I used to do this too. But like, oh man, being at my computer this long, it just feels fucking terrible. You know what I mean? It really does feel.
Yeah, you're not a gamer, and that's totally fair. So, you know what? We don't need you in this space. We don't need anybody in this space that is not willing to, at any given time, put that many hours into a game, because that means you're not really here for the right reasons, in my opinion. I'm being 100% honest. That doesn't mean you have to play a game 13 hours a day. Obviously not. If you have family and stuff, other responsibilities, then you're not going to be able to. But when there comes a time when you have that spot and that's the only thing you want to do, then that's what makes you a gamer. That's the most important aspect of being a gamer. And anybody else that's in this space that's just here for casual, that's fine. They can exist. Obviously, they make the video game industry a lot of money. But as far as content creation, as far as legitimacy, no. Sorry. I'm not someone that's a fan of that.
Feel fucking terrible. But if a new MMO comes out that I can really sink my teeth into, that sounds great. But like,
I'm excited. I really do want to get into some MMO, RPG, online thing again. And that's because I've not played any gacha for a while. And I think that's, you know, what used to give me a lot of satisfaction. And I stopped playing MMOs because of that. But I have to find one or the other. And it seems like MMOs is going to be the next thing that I'll be interested in, hopefully soon.
Quit HSR for P5X played on Taiwan server for 2 weeks so far. Oh boy, where do I start? 70 weapon pity, 80 character pity, 50-50 or 110 pity guaranteed, no 50-50, 3 free 5 stars non-standards, dating system, holy shit, how much more I can glaze.
that sounds really fucking good. That sounds really, really, really fucking good. But like for example, if it's an MMO or an online multiplayer game, I will grind forever. But if it's a single player game and my progress isn't affected by any game state or any other player,
That's not true. You're here for the donations. You're here for the engagement. You're here for the sponsors. You know, let's be very clear. If you don't have that same purpose in a single player game, then most likely you're just addicted to the loop. You're addicted to the stuff, which is not healthy, and you should not do that as well. You should never feel trapped. And we all, like, I say that, and I understand that we all get into that, mindset, but you need to work your way out of it and only ever have healthy relationships with video games to the extent that you can still be productive in life, which is a very difficult thing to do. And it's not for everybody, which is why video games are literally not for everybody.
why would I sit there for hours on end and grind every single
Because you enjoy the loop, you enjoy the games. But anyway, we're gonna go back and forth here. I'm pretty sure at this rate. So we've got everything I needed to get out of this video. My name is Bazookas. If you like this video, my name is Bazookas. If you like this video, like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.